All right, props to all the 12 Longhorns who were drafted over the weekend.
Yeah.
Look, as we said, 23 and two draft cycle is the most ever. The record had been held by Georgia recently with 21 in 2 years. Texas goes 23 and 2 and didn't have Isaiah Bond off the board. I don't think we saw that coming. Obviously, that legal issue he's dealing with, probably not looking good, so he gets undrafted. But as far as the players who were drafted, look, I mean, we talked a lot on Friday about the 3 first-rounders with Kelvin Banks to New Orleans. He lands on a staff now that's got Bo Davis and Terry Joseph. That'll be a great spot for him. I'm sure they were in the year of Kellen Moore. Jahdae Barron to Denver, where they leaned into his strength. They may have the best secondary. Between Houston and Denver, that's probably the best 2 secondaries in pro football right now. With what Houston has in Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter, our young corner they took a year ago. Now Denver has Jahdae Barron.
You know who's becoming a really good secondary? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, and they took Andrew Makuba.
That's
We'll get to. But Matthew Golden to Green Bay. We talked about the hero's welcome he received. Then on Friday night, you sat back and watched the San Francisco 49ers gobble up Alfred Collins with pick
Great
43.
Pick. Love that.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan love to invest in the D-line. We know that they took Mykel Williams from Georgia with pick 11. They come back and get the long-armed and big-bodied Alfred Collins. Really nice pick for him. If he's playing on his game, that's a good pick for them. And then also in the second round, Andrew Makuba to the Philadelphia Eagles.
What a fit.
Then he pretty much replaces C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's down in Houston now. They traded him. Houston was looking for some experience at safety. But that's a great spot for Makuba with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell from a year ago. Love that for him. Now, Cowboy fans, Longhorn fans who hate the Eagles, you're not going to like that, but he's an Eagle. Round 3, Vernon Broughton in New Orleans. Speaking of Bo Davis.
There you go.
Hey, I like my guy.
They're building in the trenches with the Longhorns there.
Yeah. Round 4, because those were so you had 3 on Saturday, 3 on Thursday, 3 more go on Friday. So 6 off the
2
board
in the second, 1 in the third, right.
And then you get into day 3.
At 120.
Gunnar Helm to Tennessee. Good fit for him with Cam Ward.
Great fit.
Going to Tennessee.
They need a good tight end.
They do. And Gunnar Helm, that's about where we thought. In the late 3rd, early 4th for Gunnar. Barron Sorrell, same kind of things. I got to tell you, this Barron Sorrell thing
very cool
was
story.
As cool as anything of the weekend. Well, Mel Kiper was like unhinged all weekend, being a fool.
Gosh.
There was some good stuff. That's why I watch NFL Network. And I'm sure the ESPN ratings will be through the roof and ABC because that was dramatic. When's Shador going to go? Mel Kiper yelling at everybody, blaming everybody. But Shador.
NFL doesn't know how to evaluate quarterbacks. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I said this earlier, and that's why I played the Nick Saban sound. The NFL admits they get it wrong 50% of the time. We're about half and half. But so that's why we're trying to eliminate as many question marks as possible. And all Shador Sanders did was present question marks.
Right.
And we don't want question marks. It's not about performance. We heard Nick Saban say it clearly. It's not about your talent, y'all. It's about the ands and the butts.
Interview. It's
the
straight
ands
up
and the
job
butts.
interview, like you said.
But another guy that got drafted, this was such a cool moment while the ranting and raving was going on. Barron Sorrell was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. But Roger Goodell all of a sudden comes out, and Roger Goodell, of course, gives up the calling duties after round 1.
Right, after Thursday.
They do different ways of announcing the picks, which are kind of cool. But so here comes Roger Goodell, and you're like, what's going on here? Well, he wanted to announce that Barron Sorrell was the pick because Barron Sorrell was still in the green room. He was there from Thursday. He wanted to be there with Matthew. He knew he wasn't getting picked on Thursday, but he wanted to be there, paid his own way to be at Green Bay. He's there for Matthew Golden when he gets drafted, and then he thought he would go Friday night, which he didn't. Well, now here is early day 4 or day 3 on Saturday. He gets picked.
Just a few after Gunner, 124.
And it is so cool. He comes out. He gets, just like Matthew Golden, gets the Green Bay Packer hero welcome. And, and the cool part is he gets to walk right across the street and say thank you to the guys that drafted him in the front office of the Packers. They're right there.
Thank you to half the owners in the attendance, probably.
Yeah, well, remember, they don't have an ownership. They've got stockholders, but they're front. Listen to this. Here's their general manager, I think team president, when asked about when Barron Sorrell came in and wanted to say thanks, and he was just super emotional, but thanks to be a Packer.
When did you guys realize he was across the street?
I mean, it kind of encapsulates what happens in the draft room sometimes. You know, you exist in this bubble through the whole draft process. And when Mr. Goodell got up there and said, well, this kid is here, I thought he was having somebody else come up and announce the pick, not realizing he was actually in the green room. And I mean, you guys had a chance. It sounds like he paid his way here, just wanted to be a part of it. And big, fast, smart, tough, good people who need football. I think with him, you can just check all those boxes. And if that isn't enough of an anecdote to tell you what kind of kid that is, I don't know what else.
Barron Sorrell, and you hear those catchphrases, those descriptors from the general manager of the Packers: big, fast, smart, tough, needs football.
Checks all boxes.
Needs football.
Needs it.
Again, go back to Shedeur, not to make it all about him, but did he check those boxes? Does he need football? I played you the sound earlier of he and Cam Ward talking, and Shedeur Sanders was like, let's go make a record. Let's go make a song.
Let's go to the club.
And Cam Ward's like, no, man, I'm here to work on football. I'm going to be football. And he goes, come on, don't you have outside hobbies? Like, no,
I'm a football player.
He actually said to Shedeur Sanders, no, when you Google my Wikipedia page, it says American football player. So, again, whether they're right half the time and wrong half the time, yes, they're still trying to eliminate as many questions as they can. We've said all the way when we interviewed Barron Sorrell when he was at the Senior Bowl and was one of our first interviews on Radio Row at the Senior Bowl. And that guy needs football. He loves football. He loves his teammates at Texas, and he's a fourth-round pick, and I think he's going to play for a decade for the Green Bay Packers for all the reasons their general manager just said. Good for him. The next pick of the Longhorns was Jaden Blue. He goes off the board with pick 149 to the Dallas Cowboys. We know he's got the game-breaking speed and versatility. He's not going to be an every-down back, but boy, a change of pace back who's physical enough. He's got to learn to hold on to the football, but I really like that for Dallas. They're rebuilding their offensive line. They want to run the football with Brian Schottenheimer and their new offensive coordinator, their new kind of mindset coming in from bringing him in from Arizona. I like that pick. Cam Williams went to Philadelphia with pick 207 in the 6th round. I really wish Cam Williams, the debate's gone on about Quinn Ewers. Should Quinn have come back? But we talked about it. Quinn was ready to move on. Quinn wanted his legacy to be at Texas. Cam Williams took bad advice. He got good advice and didn't listen to it. Cam Williams was told, come back, work, get better, continue to develop. But he wanted to go to the draft, and he ends up in the 6th round. He could have been a top 50 or 75 pick next year, in my opinion, because he would have come in and been the starting right or left tackle, protecting Arch Manning. He's got work to do. He's got still a lot to clean up, but he's got massive size and all the intangibles, the uncoachables we call them. But 6th round pick, I think he made a mistake, but good luck to him. He's in Philadelphia. They like big humans on their offensive line, so it stands to reason. They have the best offensive line coach in all of the NFL right now, so I think that's a real good spot for Cam.
Just not shocking spot that he has.
Yeah, go to work. Arizona took Hayden Connor, and then Quinn Ewers, as we said, to Miami. And again, the butts. As Shedeur Sanders created his own butts for Quinn, it's about injuries. And as I've been told, there's maybe an injury flag that they're worried about, big picture, but I don't know what that is. But he's the 7th round pick. He didn't win the hearts and minds of NFL scouts, and now he's going to be a Miami Dolphin. But I would say, I think we all thought if he lands with a Shanahan or a McVay or a Mike McDaniel, whatever round it's in, that's a good place.
Yeah.
Because that offense, you should know, Steve Sarkisian and Mike McDaniel are good buddies. They're friends. They're offensive. They talk football all the time. Their offenses are very similar. And so a lot of the motions, jet sweeps, all the things happening, and Quinn showed a real good ability to execute that and run that offense and keep it in rhythm. We saw last year when Tua Tagovailoa went out just how bad their offense got. It's not one of those things. You have to understand how all that works and the fly motions and everything. And Quinn has already done that at Texas. I'm not saying he's going to win the job. I'm saying he can go in and compete, go to work, be humble, stay healthy, more importantly than anything. And, it's not like Tua Tagovailoa is the picture of health, right? He's got some injury concerns.
For being probably QB3, QB4 coming into camp right away, this is a spot where, listen, of course you never want health issues for Tua, but that's just what it is. He has health issues. He can't stay on the field. Yeah. It's an issue of his. Zach Wilson, we've seen a decent amount of him. This is his 3rd attempt, right, at a different team. So we don't not too sure. And I think Skylar Thompson might still be on the roster.
He's going to have to go compete.
He's going to have to go compete. But this is a spot where, you actually have a chance to get on the field, possibly next year. And
a little chip on the shoulder. The only advice would be, because people want to talk about he should have come back for NIL. Well, Quinn didn't want to do that. Quinn's path was to the NFL. And now he's in the National Football
Everyone's
League.
Everyone's talking about the money he gave up, which, sure. Where was that offer? Was that an SMU of the where was that?
Who knows?
$8 million they're talking about.
Who knows? Go be Brock Purdy.
Reported $8 million.
Go be Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy came in as the last pick of the draft. Mike McDaniel was on the staff in San Francisco when that happened and
took him to a Super Bowl.
Won that job. So again, I don't know if that's going to happen for Quinn. He may not be that good, but he has an opportunity. That's all you can get. Who really likes Quinn is Des Bryant. Did you see that?
Yes.
On Twitter, Des Bryant said, the former Cowboy says, I've watched a ton of UT games. I'm not like you guys. I'm not a stock watcher. I critique these players throughout the year. I think about players who drafts them. The Dolphins' offensive scheme is the perfect fit and marriage for Quinn Ewers.
Were you watching had the ESPN audio going on when that would happen when he got drafted?
No.
It was interesting. I like Louis Riddick.
I was having lunch with the Mannings.
Oh, you were. There you go. But Louis Riddick was kind of ripping him a new one, just saying, oh, his tape wasn't great and whatnot. And then Matt Miller was on the cast with him, who we've had on numerous times. He goes, there's those flashes in those games, though, Michigan being one of them, at Tuscaloosa, winning in big games where you have that. Obviously, you want more of it because he always had an injury issue. And legit, the next pick is him. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, well,
kind of
look,
one of those spoken in existence type things.
Well, and again, I
Hey, there
think
you go.
there's the reason because people will say, well, Tyler Shuck went and he has an injury history
man.
too.
And he's my age.
But Tyler has, he's got actually a better toolkit right now than Quinn does as far as
6'6" too.
his size. He's got a stronger arm. He
Yes.
looks the part. So again, it's talent. And then is it and or but? And Quinn Ewers, Shedeur Sanders, a lot of these guys have too many butts. You can't have butts. And I didn't know how far the butts would drop him. But again, I think the medical evaluations didn't go great for him. I think I was told some teams took him off the board completely just because of the injury history and what they just don't trust that he's going to be healthy. But that's, we'll find out. Everybody comes in at some point, whether you're first round or seventh round, and you got to go to work. The undrafted free agents, Longhorns have a bunch of them. Silas Bolden signed as an undrafted free agent. He with Minnesota, the Vikings, Jake Majors to Tennessee, David Benda to Tennessee, Gavin Holmes, Detroit, and Bill Norton to the LA Rams. So those guys have signed as undrafted free agents, preferred right after the draft. So that's where all the Longhorns landed. So 12 drafted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 preferred free agents I've seen. So 18 plus Isaiah Bond has not signed or been drafted.